I will now be going back into my retirement home, walking away from football again with my head held high, knowing I gave it everything I had, good or bad, every time I stepped out onto the field. In reaction to that, Shefty tweeted this from Drew Rosenhaus, the agent, saying, "It would not surprise me if Tom Brady calls him during the season to come back and Rob answers the call. This is just my opinion, but I wouldn't be surprised if Rob comes back during the season or next season." So there's the agent telling us maybe this thing ain't over. What are you hearing, Dan Graziano? Have we seen the last of the man who might very well be the greatest tight end that ever lived?
Look, I think we have to give some weight to what Drew Rosenhaus is saying there. If the Buccaneers offense struggles, if Tom Brady decides he needs the help later in the season, if Gronk just sort of has the itch to play but doesn't want to go to training camp or play in September, all of these things are possible. And I think this storyline will continue into this season, especially if Tampa Bay struggles on offense. I think Gronk will probably stay visible. He has all his commercials. It may be that he pops up working for one of the TV networks covering football in some way. So I don't think he's going away. I think right now he probably feels like he's retired for the second time in his career. But I think that what Rosenhaus said there very realistic and I think should be taken seriously.
Absolutely. And the TV part of it, look, we might have a chair available for him here. We'll see how that thing works. But get up. I got plenty of room in here when the football season begins. RG3, let me come to you. This is June.
Right.
Training camp is around the corner.
Yes.
Football players don't tend to look forward to that. A lot of people looking at that and wondering if this really is just a temporary move by Gronkowski.
Yeah, I think Rob Gronkowski is playing chestnut checkers. He does not want to go through training camp. He does not want to go through the preseason in the early part of the year. He's got 4 rings. He's looking forward to maybe making that extra push down the line with Tom Brady and the Bucs if they have a lot of success. And I just think that Rob Gronkowski, it's not a question, Greeny. He is the greatest tight end of all time, in my opinion. And I'd be surprised if he didn't come back. So surprised that I'm willing to jump in the East River if he doesn't.
Wait a minute.
On camera.
That's right behind us.
That's right behind us.
You could literally jump out that window and jump out, and you would be on camera by definition. So there's 2 separate things you said that I like. One, the numbers support everything you just said. He is the greatest tight end of all time. The productivity numbers as a receiver, and then you add in the fact that he's also a genuinely great blocker. Most of the tight ends who have similar numbers to his as a receiver did not add that other element.
Correct.
But the second piece, let's talk about that. Will they struggle without him? Will Tom Brady and this offense struggle without Gronkowski?
Well, I don't know if they will struggle without him, but listen, they were the NFC favorites, in my opinion, if Gronk had come back. But with him not coming back, they're now just contenders. They're still a really, really good football team, and obviously they need Chris Godwin to come back and be healthy, but they brought in Russell Gage. They drafted Cade Otton out of Washington, even though he's recovering from an ankle injury. But the numbers support Rob Gronkowski's impact. It is undeniable. Tom Brady in the red zone has thrown 48 touchdowns and 0 interceptions in the last 2 years with Rob Gronkowski on the field, and they've had the #1 red zone offense. So for a guy who has, won 4 Super Bowls with Tom Brady as his tight end and also saved his tight end on multiple occasions over the years, I think it's going to be interesting to see how Brady operates without him.
Well, look, you were a quarterback, and so you understand better than anyone how important being comfortable is.
Right.
And particularly, I think I have found, as these guys get older, the more they rely on the people that they rely on, if you will. So Brady is going to want him back. Yes, when Drew Rosenhaus says it's a real possibility that he will give him a call, Brady's going to call him, right?
Brady called him yesterday. You see that meme he posted on Twitter was hilarious. And Rob Gronkowski, 33 years old, but last year he had 802 receiving yards.
Right.
So he's still a dominant force, and he is a guy that has always been Tom Brady's security blanket.
And then he was hurt last year, too, for part of it. He was playing great before he got injured. Graziano, just to be clear on his contractual situation, in theory, if he wants to come back and play this year, it doesn't have to be with Tampa, right? We all assume it would be because of Brady and everything else. But in theory, could he come back and play someplace else if he chose to?
In theory, but I think you're right. I mean, look, he only came out of retirement the first time because Tom Brady went to Tampa and he wanted to play with him. So I do think it would be pretty shocking if he came out of retirement to play with a different quarterback.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.